Curtis Calhoun here with MMA News, and my next guest is the 2022 PFL welterweight champ. He's getting ready to return next month during the second half of the PFL regular season. It's Sadibou Sy. How's it going, Sadibou?
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm doing amazing. You just finished the workout just now. I'm at the PI in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay, nice. Is that kind of where you've spent most of this camp, or where have you been working at this camp?
I'm based in Las Vegas, but I do most of my training at the Xtreme Couture actually.
Oh, okay, cool. With
Yeah.
Sean Strickland, all those.
Yep. To name a few: Sean, Chris Curtis, Brad, Marvin is there right now. Edmund, Shimon. I have so many amazing training partners.
Yeah, I was about to say, what is it like working with top level guys like that and getting all those different looks?
So for me, like I've always had a lot of quality training partners. But the good thing and the easy thing of being out here is you have so many different bodies, so many different body types, and there's always new guys coming in. I've been working this whole week with my brother out here, Mark.
Oh, very cool. What's up?
Mark Dekes. He has a fight coming up soon, so I've been training a lot with him. Actually, we have one of our same coaches, Salman. So it's nice. I believe it's fun.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, obviously you got this big fight coming up for the second half of the regular season, looking to clinch that playoff spot. I got to ask you about Shane Mitchell. How do you see this fight playing out stylistically? What do you know about him?
I haven't started my own. Like I saw his last fight. That was the first fight I actually saw him. He's a very nice guy. I met him the first time now during fight week. What I know is he likes to bang. He's a tough guy, and he actually enjoys what he's doing. Basically, obviously, I feel like if I do my preparations well and do exactly what I'm supposed to do, I believe that the fight is in my hands, and I believe this is gonna be a good opportunity for me to keep showcasing my growth.
I got to ask you, man, because I remember we talked, it was a few weeks after you won at the PFL championships and you just got the title. So I got to ask you, man, after all this time, in what ways do you feel like you've grown the most since becoming a champion last year? Is it mentally, physically? Like, where do you feel like you're at in your fighting career right now?
To be honest, that's a very good question, because it's not like the specific championship was like okay, that made me take a different type of step. It's just been the progression of the whole, like making the move out here to Vegas, putting myself in like an uncomfortable new situation, right? And just being like married to getting better, and and the process. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's one thing that happened after the fight. I believe that we can just see the progression from me. Just go back to early 2022 to early 2023. I believe you're gonna be able to see the progression, and that's because being out here, so I believe, we're gonna see even like there's a lot of room for improvements, and that's what I like to have.
Do you feel like kind of, you mentioned the risk of moving out to Las Vegas and all that. Do you feel like as a fighter, taking risks like that and seeing it kind of, work out really well kind of builds your confidence in terms of, hey, like, I'm looking to get better. This is where I'm meant to be?
That's a good question. For me, I can only speak for myself, right? Because for someone else, I can just imagine, because I've seen it. I've seen people come out here and be like, "Oh, this was not for me," or like making the move and being away from the friends, family, actually killed their whole, like, what do you call it? Like the light in them. Like so you actually like make it something bad instead of something actually good. For me, I see it as every day, month, year, week, whatever I spend from my family and friends that I love and that I grew up with in Sweden, I want to make it count. So I really, for me, being out here was something that made me grow a lot, but it could have easily gone the other way. Like it wasn't a given that it was gonna turn out well. It's done it so far, but we just have to wait and see.
No doubt about it, man. And I saw, I think it was on the PFL social media pages. They posted one of those pictures, those two pictures side by side with one from 2018 and one now.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to ask you, man, like obviously the PFL has been in the news lately with Francis Ngannou and all that.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about that too, but what is it
Yeah.
kind of like to see how the PFL has grown over the years?
Man, to see the growth, it's amazing. I'm not surprised because like from year one I heard about the ambitious things that they were set out to do, and I see them chasing everything and like not being afraid of going after the biggest names in the business and whatever. So for me, I'm not surprised at all. I'm just happy to be a part of it, and I'm happy that I also can write my story in PFL, and the story is far from done.
Do you feel like the fact that you've been through the season format a few times now almost kind of gives you an advantage in the welterweight division compared to some of the other guys that, might not have that season format experience and not know about the quick turnarounds and all that?
I would say yes, but at the same time, it's so individual because some people need after a fight they want to go for a food bender for 3-4 weeks. You like that's hard. They don't want to go back to the gym straight away. That's hard. Like in PFL, they go 1 week and you already have a new opponent that you're gonna fight in 6, 7, 8 weeks later. So I believe going through that for me, it's been something of a good thing to find the routine of, okay, so I allow myself to give myself a couple of days, take it easy, eat a little bit, just decompress, and then get back to it slowly. And how hard should I go week one? How hard should I go week two, and whatever. And also with the weight cut, like all of that plays in for me. And so being like not new to the format has made it much easier, and I'm not afraid of like am I gonna miss weight, am I gonna like, because I know how my body works, so to speak.
Absolutely, man. I got to ask you about that. Like Francis Ngannou signed with the PFL this week.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the talk of the sport right now. I guess what was
Yeah.
your reaction when you found out the news?
To be honest, I was very happy for Francis. He seemed happy. I was happy for PFL signing a big name like that. So I believe that that also goes back to what I said with PFL being so ambitious and going after the biggest names. They're very unapologetic. They're like, no, we wanna grow, and we wanna establish ourselves, and that's what PFL are doing.
What do you feel like Francis should know, as a PFL veteran yourself, like in terms of how the
Yeah.
PFL treats its fighters? Like how's the fighter treatment in the PFL different from other promotions?
So I've said this so many times, and I believe that it's because how you doing? 1 second. How you doing? I believe it's because it stems down from Ray Sefo, I believe, who's a former fighter and been through it all. I believe that his fingerprint shows up when it comes to how PFL treats fighters. Obviously, I'm not gonna give him all the credit like that. It's not that, but I'm just saying that when you have someone that's been through it at that level and understands how it is to go through what we go through and understand us on that level, I believe it's easier to hear us. And if there's anything that we feel like we need to be said, they actually listen to us. So I believe PFL is getting better and better each year, and I believe that PFL is a very fighter-friendly organization, and I believe that that's something that France is really gonna enjoy.
A couple more questions for me, man. Once
Go ahead.
again, I really do appreciate the time. I got to ask you, as somebody that's worked a little bit here and there with Khamzat Chimaev, how do you feel like he'll do with that move from welterweight to middleweight?
So, to be honest, I don't think it's gonna matter if he fights at middleweight or welterweight. Like, Khamzat's gonna be a problem for whoever you set in front of him. He's gonna become a problem for them. I like, even though it might sound scary, I think it might be even better at the middleweight.
Because he's not dealing with the harsh weight cut and all that.
Khamzat, just like me, he's a big guy, so not having to deal with that weight cut, and like, he's not the type of guy that's gonna take a step backwards or gonna like try, like he's a Ferrari. So with that being said, it's gonna be more and more dangerous when they don't have to do the whole weight cut, I believe.
And last question for me, man, I got to ask you about this fight. How do you see it playing out, and what can the fans expect when they see you enter the PFL Smart Cage?
I've been saying this season is about me getting back to the knockouts. That's what I've said. Last season was I won all of my fights. I dictated everything, and I focused on like putting the holes in my game. I focused on the holes in my game. Now I believe I'm much more complete as a fighter, and it's time to deliver some more knockouts. So that's what we can expect.
Absolutely, man. Well, Sadibou, it was great to chat with you again. It's always a pleasure to pick your brain, chat with you, fight game, and I'm sure we'll chat again soon, man. Thank you so much.
Of course. Let's do it again after next fight.